Today I'd like to review a movie called The Woman in the Yard. This is a movie that I remember seeing previews for, and if it had any stint in the movie theaters, it came and went really fast. So I caught it on streaming just because I was curious, and it was free, and I was impressed with one aspect of it in particular, and that is this is a movie that, unlike many movies today, is honest in its depiction of some of the darker aspects of femininity. The heroine of the movie is more sort of an anti-heroine. I don't want to give too much away. There's going to be some mild spoilers here, but I'm not gonna say too much because I think it's worth. I do think it's worth seeing. So the movie is about a woman named Ramona, and she's a mess. She's a wreck. She's a mother of two, and her and her two kids are recovering from a recent family tragedy, where she and her husband got into a car wreck that was a really bad wreck, and it injured Ramona badly, so she's hobbling around on crutches because she like fractured several bones in her leg, in one of her legs, but it killed her husband. And now they're living in this nice country house that her husband was instrumental in building, but she hasn't been able to keep up with payments, electric payments and phone payments, so nothing is working, and she's doing her best to sort of keep it together day by day, but she's losing patience with her two kids. She's got a teenage son, maybe around 14 or 15, and a little girl who's about maybe 6 or 7, I think. And what unfolds is we find out that there's more going on than meets the eye. That's sort of a cliche to put it that way, but it's the truth in this case. And what all ends up getting revealed takes place because of the titular. I love to use that word, titular. Can barely say it. It makes me so excited to use it. The woman in the yard, and that is there's this strange figure who's shown up with some like sort of black veil over her face, sitting in the front lawn of outside of their house, and just who this woman is, nobody knows for sure. But her son comes to suspect that there's more going on here than his mother is willing to admit to him, and that she has basically not told them the whole truth. She's hidden them from some of the darker aspects of the truth concerning what happened. Now, I kept waiting for this movie to take a turn down a particular road. I kept waiting because anti-male agendas are so endemic. I'm not going to say you always see them or they always turn up in movies, but you often do. It's a trope that always or that often happens. The a husband who you think is a nice guy but who turns out to be abusive or something like that. And that's really not the case. That's not what ends up happening here. What we find out in a flashback scene is that that Ramona herself is killing the marriage, which seems to be a happy marriage, between her and her husband. She's because she's not satisfied with anything. They lived in the city. She was unhappy living in the city, and so they made a plan. They made plans to move out to the country and like sort of do the homesteading thing, raise pigs and stuff out in the country. And the husband was very enthusiastic about the whole thing and planned it all and built the house and or saw to it that the house was built. He took the initiative to build this beautiful house in the country. But now that they're living out in the country, she's unhappy there too. And it was like, the misogynist in me just shook my or nodded like, "Yep, there you go. They're never satisfied. they're, they're unhappy in the city. They're unhappy in the country." I joke when I say the misogynist in me. I mean, but it is I think a problem that you see particularly particularly these days, that marriages often founder because the wife is not satisfied with anything, and is never happy, and the guy does what he can to try to help make her happy, but nothing works, and so she's unhappy with him. She resents him for having moved them to the country. This is what we find out through this whole flashback, and the woman in the yard is connected with the stuff that happened that night, and we find out that the accident was that she was actually driving, which also has a lot of symbolic resonance. Initially, what she told them was that he was driving the car, but actually she was driving, and it started to rain, and she drove recklessly and crashed, and so at some point in the movie, without revealing too much, without revealing anything about the woman in the yard or who she might be or who she might represent, what she might represent, or anything like that, we come to understand that that Ramona is a woman with deeply self-destructive tendencies, and who has this very dark side, and is has is there's sort of an inner struggle taking place where she's trying to do the right thing but struggling against her dark side is pushing her to do. And I don't think I want to give away any more than that. Now, something else I would add is the whole cast of this movie are black. The family is black. Ramona's a black woman. Her husband was a black guy. The two kids are black, obviously. And the woman in the yard is also black. So this is an all black cast, but it doesn't really seem to be a black movie, quote unquote, per se. there's no um, there maybe there's some significance in their race, but they could be a stand-in for any family in America. They could easily be a white family. Uh, and I'm not going to give away the ending either, but it is a somewhat elliptical ending. It's ambiguous. It could be happy. It could be unhappy, depending on how you interpret what you're shown. Um, Rather ambitious movie. It reminded me a lot of a Shyamalan flick, an M Night Shyamalan, an M Night joint. There's a lot in the setup and the unfolding of the horror and the what we learn about the significance of various various motifs. It's got a Shyamalan-esque flavor, and I mean that as a compliment because I like Shyamalan. I'm a big fan of his actually. So anyway, that's my review of The Woman in the Yard. I recommend that y'all check it out.